Hello and welcome to another edition of UFO Video Addicts. Let me give you a preview of what I got coming up in this video. The first is this water spout that suddenly sucks up some water into the clouds. Let's see, this is a video of a fast-moving UFO flying by this helicopter. And next is this video of an interview that Linda Moulton Howe did with this naval officer. I think he was a C-130 pilot, and he claims that he flew over a part of the Antarctic and saw an opening in the ice. And he tells a story of how, and another time that he had taken some scientists to part of the Antarctic for some, experiments that they were going to do, but then they disappeared for a week. And when they went to pick him back up, they were acting very strange. Let's see. Also have this video here of some unexplained things that that they videotape. But the one I want to show you is this this underground tunnel. And while these guys were exploring the tunnel, they see something move. And it's definitely, I don't think it's a hoax. I think it was too small to be a hoax. Let's see. This video here is about this guy who has this expanding Earth theory. He says that there aren't really the tectonic plates that are moving, or the reason why the continents are moving apart is not because of a tectonic movement, but it's because the planet is expanding. And because the planet is expanding. So take a look at that video. This is a photograph of a UFO. Just take a look at that. Let's see. This is an article about a Japanese company that wants to build a space elevator by 2050. And, which is really not too far off. I think they want to get started by 2025. Let's see. This is just a video of the Pacific Ocean. And, I just wanted to, point out that this is a water planet. And, when I say that, we're not alone on this planet and that there are advanced civilizations that live in our oceans, well, this is most likely where they live, somewhere in here, because this is a water planet. But anyways, let me go to this first one. Yeah, check out this. This is very strange. And, just check it out. I'll tell you what I think of it is. Watch right here. Right here, you'll see this water spout. Look at that thing. It looks like a giant ghost moving up into the clouds. Let's watch that one more time. Watch that thing. Look at that thing. Now, if this is real, which, based on, the video about that dude did that video with those little creatures. Yeah, what you can do with digital is pretty amazing. And, I've admitted many times how I've been fooled. So, yeah, if this is real, because it could not, there's a possibility that this is some kind of, not an elaborate hoax, but it could be a hoax. But if it's not a hoax, I think that, there's an alien craft up here. I think, this is how our advanced neighbors maybe get their fuel. They suck up some salt water, because there's been other videos where, there are these water spouts that are, going into these clouds. And again, I'm a firm believer that we're not alone on the planet, that, these advanced beings fly around with, their crafts, and there's a possibility that they could use, salt water as a source of fuel or something. But anyways, let's check out this video here. Let me go to the beginning. This is actually a real quick video. It's only 11 seconds long. Yeah, you see in slow motion, you see that that UFO there, and you see, I mean, look how much they had to slow down the video in order to get that thing in, in the shot. Let me play that one more time. Watch that thing. Yeah, that thing was moving super fast. And again, just add this video to the list of all the other videos that I've done of super fast moving UFOs. Let's see. This is an interview that Linda Moulton Howe did. Let's see, I'm not too sure what year it was. But anyways, she interviews this C-130 pilot who was working in the Antarctic, and he claims to have seen an opening in the Antarctic when they went through a no-fly zone. But anyways, let me just play a little clip of it here. Check this out.
Captain asked the crew or the navigator, what is this no-fly zone? If we can go through that no-fly zone, we're going to be able to save time on this medevac issue. And that was the discussion about why was there a no-fly zone.
Right. That discussion was happening after we took off. So we got airborne, and everybody knew there was an air sampling station that way because we were briefed every time prior to our deployment that this was the no-fly zone because it was labeled as a air sampling station and that we weren't to fly over it. So as a crew, we decided as a crew that we would take that direct route to Davis instead of deviating 20 miles around that air sampling, which is approximately what they required us to do if we were to have to go in that direction. And so we decided to fly right over it. So we took off out of Pole. Now remember, the altitude at South Pole is somewhere between 11,000 and 12,000 feet. So we were climbing at full fuel load out of South Pole, and we were going to be climbing to about 25,000 feet for our first altitude. And then as we burned off fuel, we would become lighter and we were able to climb higher, which also allows us to get better fuel efficiency out of our engines and extend our range a little bit. So we were taking off and we were climbing, and about 5 to 10 miles out, somebody decided to look out the window instead of looking at their instruments and the radar the navigator does. And somebody said, hey, there's this big dark spot out here. And so we ended up flying not directly over it, but somewhat offset so that we could look out the left side of the aircraft. And it was down at about a 45-degree angle, and there was this large opening in the ice where this air sampling station was supposed to be. So we kept on going and made our flight.
Well, anyways, they end up landing where they're supposed to land. Because they needed to pick up someone who was had a medical emergency, right? So they were in a rush, which is why they decided to fly through the no-fly zone instead of going around it like they were told to. But anyways, so after they pick up the patient, as they approached the no-fly zone again, they planned on going through it, but they were directed to go around it. And after they went around it, they dropped the patient off. They went through their regular routines, whatever, but someone ended up approaching them and basically telling them that they didn't see what they saw. And then one other section that I want to play that I thought was very interesting. I can't play all these videos because I'll get a copyright violation. So I can only play brief snippets of this, but of course I'll always leave a link to these videos so that you can watch them on your own time, or you can listen to them on your own time. But anyways, let me just play this other section here too.
Interviewed by our CO and the National Science Foundation person there that was the head of the project on McMurdo. And so that was it. So we were all wondering what the heck's going on. So from what I remember, about a week later, we were told, okay, you guys need to go back out to that science camp and pick up those people because they finally called in and said they wanted to be picked up. Now, their project was supposed to be almost a month out there, and this was only 3 weeks in. So, understanding that these scientists, when they go out into the field, they're going to use every last minute of their allotted time because that's their project, that's their science. So they wouldn't want to come back early. So we flew out there, did the circle around the camp, and we saw people now on the ice by the buildings. And they had all of their equipment, other than the buildings. They had all their equipment, their snowmobiles, their science equipment was all packed up on a pallet and ready for us to pick it up. So we landed and taxied up, and my loadmaster opened up the back end and lowered the ramp down, and they didn't even wait for the cargo to be loaded, because normally the cargo gets loaded first and then we bring the passengers on. They all, approximately 15 of them, just basically moved as quick as they could onto the aircraft and sat down in the seats. We loaded the equipment after. We pulled the pallet that had all the snowmobiles and their equipment on, and closed up the aircraft. And
at that point, Brian, you and the crew were so baffled because...
Well, anyways, yeah, Linda keeps interrupting this guy, but he goes on to tell the story of how they couldn't get anything out of him. None of the scientists wanted to talk, that he actually went back, sat down next to one of them, and was asking them, where were you guys? Because these guys were missing in the Antarctic for a week and a half, I think it was, and couldn't get any answers from these people. But anyways, this is a very interesting video. You should listen to it. It's almost 2 hours long. I'll leave a link in the description. So let me go on to this next video here. Yeah, this video here, this is top 5 unexplainable paranormal videos. Of course, I can't play the whole thing, but let me just play you this one little clip here.
A gathering of wayfarers is traveling across the dull passages of Project Rees when they experience another very bizarre cave explorer.
Did you see that? That little dude, let me play that one more time. I don't know. Watch this, let's see. Watch, yeah, just look in the back of the back. You'll see here, it's coming, there it goes. But anyways, there's that. And then the last one, some of the other ones aren't really that interesting, but this last one, I think it was kind of interesting.
An odd phantom film. This security film appears to portray a man being trailed by a frightening apparition. As found in the recording, the man strolls outside, starting with one to point, then onto the next. Be that as it may, promptly limping along with him is a strangely mutilated figure. The figure is sufficiently obvious to be observable when gotten on the dull camera. Also, on the off...
Yeah, I don't know. This one, I think it's just because of the way the security camera works. Let's see. I think there was another one that... No, some of the other ones, I don't know. You'll check it out. I'll leave a link in the description. Let's see. Yeah, this video here, I watched this video years ago. Probably about maybe 10 years ago, I came across this video. But according to this guy's theory, the reason why our continents are moving apart is not because of tectonic drift, but it's because our planet is expanding. And that, years ago, that our planet was smaller. But anyways, check out, again, I can't play all of these videos because I'll get hit with copyright violations, but I can just play little snippets and then, leave a link and you guys can check it out. So let me just play the beginning of this.
We come to the Earth, which grew to get here, the way it is now. Here is our world, our planet Earth, floating in space. We will be going backward in time, imperfectly, but done in a very disciplined manner. Please notice there is no subduction. no rotation of tectonic plates, no twisting, no form fitting, no altering shapes or sizes. It would be impossible for these continental plates to fit together perfectly without this being true, and yet the upper tectonic plates fit together perfectly on a much smaller planet. Yes, there's been some erosion, landslides, blah, blah, but overall, this activity is insignificant. There is a kind of conspiracy of silence among certain scientists. They know, but are not telling you, that the upper tectonic plates of Earth also join in the Pacific. Not partially, they join totally. You are asked to believe that the continents swim or drift about willy-nilly, bumping and crashing as if they were on a greased skillet. This is not true. The simple truth is apparently too upsetting for too many apple carts. We're now going forward in time to show how the actual growth of the Earth took place. Imperfect as to details, but the overall is nailed. Antarctica, as you see, has become subtropical.
Again, I don't know, this is let me turn this up. This is a pretty wild theory. I've come across this years ago. I have no idea, if this is true or not, but it's definitely something to contemplate. I'll leave a link in the description. You can check it out. Let's go to this photograph here. This is called the Hannah McRoberts photo. But yeah, I think that's a UFO. And if that's a frisbee, I mean, that the dude has a pretty, or whoever threw it has a pretty amazing arm. And yeah, you can see this, what is it called, speculation or something like that, when the sunlight sparkles off that chrome. But anyways, a link to this will be in the description. Let me go to this next article here. This is about a Japanese company who has plans to build a space elevator by 2050. Japanese company Obayashi has declared that they will have a space elevator assembled by 2050. The elevator will spread 96,000 kilometers, 60,000 miles into space, and will transport people and shipment to a new space station. It will also work as a port to transport astronauts to Mars and beyond. Oh, I think there's a video. Let me play this little video here. Imagine that, 20 years to construct that cable. But anyways, actually watched the whole video. I hope I don't get in trouble for that. But anyways, I'll leave a link in the description to this. Yeah, this is the last image. I just wanted to, show something. I always talk about how I think that there are advanced species that live in our oceans. Remember, we are a water planet. I mean, yeah, technically this planet shouldn't be called Earth. It should be called ocean or water, because we're mostly water. So, you know, people who have questions about whether or not, you know, these aliens could, or these advanced beings could live out there. I mean, look at all of this space out there, you know. And one thing I want to point out here, look at this, right? This is this orangutan here. I'm of the belief that that the people that are, you know, flying around in these crafts, you know, they're our neighbors. I think they look at us like this, like, you know, like we're just the surface monkeys. We're the talking surface monkeys. I mean, we think we have it great, but really, you know, when you live on a water planet, the best place to live is in the water, because then, you know, you're not you're not affected by all of the external, like the weather and things like that. I bet you, you know, in the earth, you have a controlled environment. And again, if these are advanced people, they most likely have, or they built environments, you know, that allows them to survive underwater, because they've most likely have lived on this planet much longer than we have. But to the beings that are flying around in these crafts, you know, that have mastered gravity, that have defeated gravity, we are just the talking surface monkeys to them. And yeah, we just most of us just don't realize it. But anyways, that is going to be it for this video. If you like things like this, please give this video a thumbs up. Please share this video. And if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. I'll have more things like this. Take care.